This is real Tantra. I mean, real Tantra is dealing with life and letting mundane life transcend and go into letting the profane become sacred. There is no profane. Everything is sacred. How does everything become sacred? How do we go through the molecular structure of reality? How do we find the holes in the net of duality? You know what I'm saying? And be through the breath, through the out-breath and the in-breath. When we're born, we breathe in. When we die, we breathe out. Death is an out-breath with no in-breath. So it's how do we let go? And if we can't die and let go, how can we be reborn?
And so that with every exhale, that process is going on, the death. It's letting go.
That's so beautiful.
With every exhale. Yeah. And then birth is happening, and then every breath.
But I needed, see, for me, and that's really the connection of the guru. That's what the guru is. It's the spirit of the guru, which is coming through another being. So for me, I am, my spiritual trip is the Divine Mother. And I worship the Mother. But I worship the Crone Mother. I worship the Dark Mother. The Mother who eats people. The Black Mother. Who transforms and takes away. What does Kali take away, the Black Mother? She takes away darkness. She takes away ignorance. She takes away all the false values that we've attached to the vainglory and the hypocrisy of all this worldly life, that everyone's scratching for something that they'll never get the itch satisfied from. And Kali just comes and blasts it away with pure love. So that's what I experienced with her.
Oh.
I experienced that with you. You see, her eyes, looking in her eyes, and because you were really there. You were there, and that's how my grandmother was. My grandmother was really there, and she was completely, unafraid. She was just sitting in that intensity of pure love and presence, and that strength. Like a mountain, like a rock, like a strong being. And so may whatever either that, and I was giving you that projection, and yet you were that to me, and that enabled me to have such a profound experience, I feel. So it's like, what did we bring to the table, too?
Oh, yeah.
You follow? What are we really bringing to it? It's going to be what we,
As profound as we give ourselves permission to.
As permission to be. And I wasn't a very intense, I think it's important too in times in our lives when we're in intense situations, this is what we need to do about it. We need to do something about it. We're not going to get intellectual answers. It's not going to be, well, do the right thing. What's the right thing? What is our deepest feelings?
Well, there'll be plenty of intellectual answers, plenty of them.
Yeah, everyone's got an opinion.
Swim around there forever.
Yeah, everyone's got their opinion on your situation. What do you feel?
When we first started talking, you said something about, what is the center, or is the heart the center? Mm-hmm. And the reason I paused about that is what I've noticed in doing this work is that I keep telling people to consult this brain as opposed to this one, this brain, because
and you put it right here in the solar plexus,
right? And
right
the reason I do is because what happens in not being centered in the heart, there tends to be a lot of control that the mind imposes on life, and that ends up being a knot right here. That almost everybody I work on has. Literally just of not letting go of every exhale, not letting death happen with every exhale, and then letting life happen. So I focus on the center being right here, and then what happens is this dissolves, this knot. Then what's holding and what's keeping the energy from flowing into the heart is released, and then the heart can open.
Wow. And maybe just letting letting each other really let that guru spirit come into each being who's doing it, and let them really be that divine being. In other words, I'm like in a couple sense, in a male female, because each one is the divine beings, those divine couples, those dyads.
Dyads.
Yeah, the king and queen, the male and female, the right, the light and dark, the death and life, the happy sad, right. So that alchemical transformation is through the breath. And this is really the path of all the mystics. All the mystics are working with the breath in the name of God. And the name of God is called the divine name, the holy word, the mantra, the Om. And it's total intention and total faith. So when you really know and have the absolute feeling experience of everything being Om, when you move into the Om, you walk on water. You walk through walls and your body disappears and you walk into light. And that's basically quantum physics, which is the reality of, Buddhism, Tantric Buddhism, Tantric Hinduism. So I think this is very profound work. It's because it can give people an experience of the divine within their own bodies. I mean, right on their bed, right in their room. What do you think? Does that feel? I mean,
yeah, I was just wondering. So the absence of ego structure, the absence of it, when that releases, then what emerges is self or source or
source or whatever you call it.
Or whatever you want to call it. So it's like it's basically not something you have to cook up.
No,
it's already here. So you're just taking away that which is hiding or masking the experience of source. So that's what I was talking about. Layer.
Dusting the mirror.
Yeah.
Could you just maybe describe what God means to you, or what God is to you?
What it is? It is. It is. It just is. That's what it is to me. It's just purely being in the beingness of the isness and dropping out of all concepts. But for me, it is a face. It is the face of the feminine. It is the face of the mother. I simplified, my spiritual life is very simple. I worship women as God. All women are God. That's my path. It's a traditional tantric path of mother worship. And that means trees are God, rocks are God, ocean's God, air is God, nature is God. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. What is. So it's not just fire to me. When I strike a match, that's God. That's what it is. Right.
So the masculine traits. What would the masculine traits be?
I don't know. It does not my
Would
path.
that be ego? Would that be ego?
I don't trust it as much. I somehow trust the mother. I mean, it's all the same. It's just, I mean, male, female, of course, it's the dance between them. The male energy would, the male energy is that, that's solid, that's, it's the bindu point. The energy of transformation, the mother is the movement, the energy, the shakti, the dance, the flow of life, the energy. And the Shiva seems to be that stillness, that still point, the male energy, It's like just that, it's my father like taking a nap, while my mother, gets the house together and cooks the food.